In the organic chemistry sequence, we will learn to deconstruct or reduce seemingly impossible molecular concepts and pathways into smaller, more manageable pieces. We should recognize that big scientific problems are really a collection of smaller problems. Once it sinks in, we can take a systematic and organized approach to the huge subject of organic chemistry. At first glance, 2 semesters of organic can look like a giant mountain like Everest. We must decide on how we are going to conquer that mountain, get to the top, and come out the other side learning from the experience. The approach to be presented here works for most people who come into organic knowing the basics and who are willing to work hard. Serious climbers don't just show up to Everest and start climbing. They develop a plan beforehand. They organize equipment and logistics and plot a route that they hope will take them to the summit. Climbers then begin at base camp. For us, that's the general chemistry sequence, and take a measured, careful approach up the mountain. They start with the straightforward sections first. For us, the first few chapters of our textbook, and reflect on their progress. Once they have cemented that success, they move on to more challenging sections of the mountain, using whatever they have learned so far. Each section certainly becomes more difficult. However, their planning and practice and learning from failures along the way improves their chances of overall success. We will do the same in organic chemistry. We start at base camp in general chemistry, and then add knowledge of organic concepts and structures until we are ready to hit the hardest sections. For most, this will be when we begin reaction mechanisms later in the first semester. Climbing mountains is a scary business, but we can succeed with base knowledge, practice, stamina, learning from small failures, and a willingness to develop our skills as we go. During the 2-semester undergraduate organic chemistry sequence, we will show that the subject relies on a fairly limited number of core concepts. The periodic table is the same one used in general chemistry, and you should come into organic chemistry understanding how the table is organized. From there, we will expand on your understanding of topics such as electronegativity, valence, and the octet rule. Most importantly, we will develop a real understanding of bonding and which elements prefer covalent, ionic, or somewhere in between for their bonding patterns. We expand on those ideas by exploring what organic molecules look like, where they might be reactive, and how they try to stabilize any charges. Organic has its own vocabulary, and we develop that gradually through each chapter, with many of these new words taking some effort to assimilate. Once the foundation has been laid over the early chapters, we move into chemical reactivity and apply the concepts studied earlier. The understanding of chemical kinetics and thermodynamics will be strengthened, and the use of reaction profiles introduced as a way of visualizing energy changes within chemical reactions. Once those ideas are solidified, the study of chemical mechanisms begins with each of the concepts studied so far playing an important role. From there, we take a methodical approach to studying over 120 reactions, many of which also occur in biochemistry or are used in the chemical industry. Success in organic chemistry relies on coming into the course with a solid foundation from general chemistry and then being willing and able to build on that knowledge.